Good morning, folks. Hope y'all having a better morning than I've had so far. It is 38 degrees, which is a lot better than yesterday. Yesterday it was 20 degrees when I was out here at this time in the morning. Actually, I was out here earlier than this yesterday morning, but still. It's gray, dismal, kind of drizzly. Yeah. And I'm going to try and finish that sawmill today. That's my big goal for today. My wife's son's going to come help me with what's left of it. We did get the mill itself on the track yesterday, so that's good. So far today, today has not been, it started out gloriously. I've got a cat that's got a sore spot. It got up this morning. Turns out that sore spot was an abscess. It ran into the wall. When it ran into the wall, let's just say I cleaned the floor and I'll mop later. And then I tried to check on the cat. The cat tried to kill me. That did not go well at all. And she's outside now. She went to the woods, which is very unusual for her because it's feeding time and she's missing. So it was when she tried to kill me. She made me mad. I shouldn't let that happen. But anyway, sawmill is sitting on the rails. Still got some parts to put on it. Still got quite a bit to do. But the big stuff is done. We got it done last night. That sawmill actually sat down on the rails around 9:30 last night. I'm tired this morning. How tired was I last night? I've still got all the video from yesterday on the camera. So I'm gonna go show you a little bit about what the mess we got this morning. I still got tools out there. I've got tools sitting out in the rain. That's against my rules. But like I said, I didn't get in the house till after 10, as it was. And I was exhausted. So let's go take a look at that. And then I'm gonna go plug in the camera, get the video off of it from yesterday, start fresh with a new camera and new battery and stuff, and get to work on the sawmill after breakfast. I'm gonna have breakfast. Breakfast sounds good. Even for me, some of this is embarrassing. But please notice the mill is on the tracks. It's set up. Now, I've still got more parts and pieces and all that stuff. They're over there. That's all the stuff I got left to put on. Well, over to there, to the end of that rail. So, but they're all small parts and pieces. Over here, that's my tools. My tools sitting out in the rain. That's not good. But after we get done today, I'm going to sit down in the shop and dry tools. Because that's not good. So I've got a bit of a mess. But in my defense, when that saw head sat down on that rail, it was probably around 9:30 last night. It was around 9:30 last night. And 3 grown men about whooped us. That thing's heavy. And that thing's heavy. It's unbelievable how much weight's in that thing. But quality construction, I'll give them that. I mean, I haven't run it yet, but the construction of that, the parts and pieces, quality stuff. I've got to make some adjustments. We'll go through that later when we get to working. I just wanted to show you my morning mess and the progress we made last night. I will get a video up for yesterday, hopefully today. I'll tell you, I'm tired. But they're all small parts and pieces. Over here, that's my tools. My tools sitting out in the rain. That's not good. But after we get done today, I'm going to sit down in the shop and dry tools. Because that's not good. So I've got a bit of a mess. But in my defense, when that saw head sat down on that rail, it was probably around 9:30 last night. It was around 9:30 last night. And 3 grown men about whooped us. That thing's heavy. And that thing's heavy. It's unbelievable how much weight's in that thing. But quality construction, I'll give them that. I mean, I haven't run it yet, but the construction of that, the parts and pieces, quality stuff. I've got to make some adjustments. We'll go through that later when we get to working. I just wanted to show you my morning mess and the progress we made last night. I will get a video up for yesterday, hopefully today. I'll tell you, I'm tired. Well, yesterday I tried to video everything as we were putting this mill head together. It was dark. I was working with halogen lights, no camera lights, and well, you know, it just wasn't the best lighting situation. But quick description of what we did. All right, we got the mill head. That's the big green thing here off the truck. I had 2 boards laying across the bunks, and we laid the mill head on those boards. Installed these 2, I guess risers. I don't know what else to call them. That's where the blade itself rides up and down. Those went on first, second. See if you can see it. We installed the 2 metal pieces here that ride on the rails. Yeah, if you look over there, you can see the wheels are attached to that, and that's what the saw head rides on. Then we attach these bars here that come up and then angle over here. And once those were just put on with 1 nut, we attached this steel plate up here. And I say plate, that's a whole metal piece that goes across the top, that whole thing right there. And that piece probably weighs 50-60 pounds. It's pretty heavy. And it took, well, I think there were 3 of us working on it, but no matter what we did, there'd have been 3 of us. And I'm already seeing a loose bolt up there. I am going to have to go through this thing and attach and make sure every bolt on this thing's tight. Some of them I know are, but I'm standing here looking at a loose bolt, so just the way it is. So anyway, we got those attached. Let's see, what was the next thing? Put this green plate on there, and really that's just a support plate. And while we were doing that, or after we did that, we put the crank handle on it. Now we're going to go around here and take a look at that. Okay, this crank handle. The instructions aren't real clear, particularly on this double pulley here. All right, we were having trouble because we've got 3 single pulleys. You can see one way over there, and then up here, and there's one on the other side, single pulley up here. But the instructions weren't real clear about where this double pulley goes. We did finally figure that out. If you don't know how this thing works, I've got the crank handle here. If you watch these pulleys here, all right, they're coming in. This thing could be a little more level, but you can see that actually pushes those 2 pulleys out, which is what raises the mill head. So I'm sure we'll be looking more at that at a later date, but that's how that works. Crank this, pushes those pulleys out, pulls the cables up, the head rises. Crank it the other way, pulls the pulleys in, head lowers. Pretty straightforward thing actually, once you get it figured out, but it's pretty cool. Now I do still have to get the head level. It's not level, and I've still got several pieces to put on here. One minor glitch, and I mean minor, it's a minor glitch, that we didn't notice until we actually had the saw head on the saw. When I say minor glitch, I do mean minor. It's almost imperceptible. But right there, those 2 plates are off by a 1/16 of a millimeter. Not much, but when the saw head rolls over it, you can actually hear it click. And I'm not saying it is enough to throw the mill off, but I think about a blade running through there and you drop that thing even just that much, it could make a difference. I don't know whether it will or not. But in the meantime, I mean, it's loosening up a few bolts, tightening a few bolts back, but I think we can get that to where it's dead nuts even. So that's where I'm at today. I'm going to start by finishing putting all the parts on the mill. There's several of them to go on yet, and get that figured out and get these things going. Okay, in the instructions, it said to install this tank before we stood the mill up, but because of the way we were doing it, that really wasn't going to work out. So what I'm getting ready to do is just 4 bolts. And we'll take this tank, mount it right there. Not going to video that on account of it's raining and you all are living in a box because it's dry in the box. Must be nice to live in a box today. Because I'm getting just damper and damper and damper. It's not really raining, it's just, yeah. But I want to get this done. I'd like to get it done today. I'd like to have it running this week. Okay, again, I hope you all are enjoying living in the box where it's dry. After the tank was put on, put the hose in. That hose connection to the tank was easy. You just push the hose in, push the blue thing back, push the hose in. There it goes. That comes around. You got your, on your dashboard here, you got your control, which is that. And this hose just connects in the top and then it comes out the bottom. Now that comes out, goes down. This piece, I searched for it. It was already attached. I didn't have to search for that. Goes down there. You've got the copper thing. Take the copper thing out of the hose. Run it through there backwards. Okay, and then you got to find a hex wrench. It just says put the hex bolt in there, and I like to never found a darn hex bolt. But it's right here on this side, and you put that in there to hold your copper tight. And then from there, take your hose and stick it on the copper. So that's all there is to that. Make sure you don't collapse that. I think that says that in the instructions. I never figured that out. Seemed like a simple thing, but they hid that thing over here on the back. And it takes an itty bitty Allen wrench. Good thing I got bunches and bunches and bunches of Allen wrenches. I finally found it. So, that was the next thing. If you want to know what John's doing, John is tightening up all the bolts everywhere. I had him go through the entire trailer and rail system and tighten every bolt, front to back, all the way around. Some of them were tight, some of them weren't so tight, like that which one. Is like that one, which is why I've got him doing all that. So that's where we're at now. Okay, if you heard the crash, next we're going to pick up Allen wrenches because, but onward and upward. I'll get to the next thing. So where we're at now is this is the scale. All right, I've attached the top part up there to the bracket there. You can see that goes in there, and we are currently attaching that to that. This is a two-man job because I couldn't hold that on both sides. There's just no way. I mean, I guess I could, but then there'd be all this fussing. And this is supposed to be a family video. So that's where we're at now, and I'm gonna put you all back in the box because it's just wet and I don't want you all to get wet. Okay, next we've got little clamps like this that hook to these, and these all get screwed to the cover here. You got your doors that open here. These little clamps snap on up here, and that's how you close it. They also gave me this, and I can't find this anywhere in the manual, but it fits. Well, it fits there, trust me. And I'm sure that that's where that's supposed to go, whether it's in the manual or not. So that's what we're gonna do next, is attach these little clips. You got 2 on the bottom, 1 on the top. Okay, John's putting on the last pieces there. What this is, that clamp hooks on there, hooks on there, folds down, and that locks these doors closed. Plus, when the other door's closed, you've got a place to put the little knob there. So, that's what we're working on now. Hold on a minute. He's done. Been there, done that. Oh, what am I not? What the heck?
Got close them at the same time.
Oh. Well, there's a new feature. Close that. Screw that in. You got the latch there at the top. And then you've got a latch just like that top one on either side at the bottom. Works just like that. And that pulls this up tight. And that way if something goes wrong with the blade, then you got it covered and nothing flies apart. Okay, I got to go down to my farm, meet a guy about a septic tank. Maybe some digging, maybe some concrete work. Maybe this guy will do it, I hope. Oh, not enough coffee in my day today. It's cold, it's wet, it's rained all day. I mean, not rain, it's just drizzled all day. That's where I've got to stop today, just because I don't have time to do anything else and it's going to get dark. So, hopefully I can get it done tomorrow. I was hoping to get done today. All this little piddly stuff, I had John go through and tighten every bolt on the trailer, make sure they were all tight. And some of them were really good and tight. Some of them were not, which is why I had John do all that. So, and then I've got greasing. I've still got a few more parts to put on there. I've still got a couple things I got to figure out. And hopefully we'll be doing that tomorrow. No guarantees. It's supposed to rain tomorrow too. If it's drizzly like this, I'll get out here. It may be worse. And then they're talking about snow too, so if it's snowing, I'll be out here. Unless it's just, you know, a blizzard. Anyway. That's it. That's where I'm going to end today's video. Remember, my name's Mark. I'm just some old Kentucky homesteader. If you like what we're doing here and want to look at some more of it, hit your subscribe button, ding the little bell, and in the meantime, you have a blessed